fire in West London, which is in Southern a few casualties. Okay, there. Hello everyone, I'm Xinhua News Agency London correspondent Liang Xizhi. I'm now in front of the Grenfell Tower of London. Last night, a massive fire that have set up the 24-story building that behind me, which have claimed a few people's life and have left some people injured. So far, the London police are still investigating the cause of fire, and the London Fire Brigade are now trying to tackle the fire. We can see the police helicopters are still hovering over the building to supervise the fire and try to cease the fire. But so far we don't have the clear data of the casualty and the cause of the fire. The massive fire that tore through the 24-story apartment building in West London have claimed a number of the lives, as rescuers are frantically working to reach people believed still trapped. Fire officials confirmed today. London Mayor Sadiq Khan have declared a major incident after the blaze engulfed the Grenfell Tower in North Kensington just before 1 a.m. local time Wednesday. Around 200 firefighters, 45 trucks, and 20 ambulance crews were at the scene. A website run by the Grenfell Action Group said residents of the tower have expressed concerns over the safety of the building, especially pointing to fire risk. Fire chief said it was too early to speculate on the cause of blaze. So far, the fire brigade said the fire of the building now is under control, but we can still see some fire from the images, and the building is still smoldering. So far, at least 50 people have been taken to 5 nearby London hospitals for further treatment. There are fears that the building, with more than 100 apartments, might collapse. So the police have cordoned off the nearby areas to prevent the other people to get too near to the fire building. A hazardous area response team were also dispatched to the site. It is unclear how many people are still in the building, but witnesses who escaped reported terrifying accounts of people trapped in tower as they fled. Some people were reported to have jumped from building, while witnesses described seeing people, including children, banging on windows, screaming and crying for help. The London Fire Brigade Commissioner Danny Cotton said there have been a number of fatalities, but she could not confirm how many. She said, "In my 29 years of being a firefighter, I have never seen anything of this scale." There were fears that the building, which houses more than 100 apartments, might collapse. It was not yet possible to confirm the cause of fire, which spread throughout the building from lower floors. So far, the cause of the fire is still unknown. The police are still investigating the cause. One resident of Tower, Michael Parmason, said he was watching TV as his girlfriend and daughter slept when he smelled burning plastic. Soon he saw the smoke and chaos. Tia Abrahams, a man who lives close to the scene, got there before the fire brigade. He said there were people banging on windows screaming, carrying out for help. There was even young children banging on the windows. It wasn't good. According to the British media, Grenfell Tower was built in the 1970s and recently subject to a $11 million redevelopment. according to property firm Rydon. The building was to undergo specific improvements to fire safety and ventilation works. The web page relating to the refurbishment works data appear to have been wiped. The tower, which is part of the Lancaster West Social Housing Estate, is managed by an agency on behalf of the London Borough of Kensington and Chelsea. Close to Notting Hill, the Tower Block is around a 5-minute walk from the Latimer Road Underground Station and near the Westfield Shopping Centre in the West London suburbs. It's a mixed development property that houses a boxing gym and a nursery, according to a news release last year from the Royal Borough of Kensington and Chelsea. Before the innovation, there were 120 apartments in the building. Now, so far the investigation is still in its early stages. The blaze appears to be the worst fire since 2009 fire in South London that killed 6 people, including 3 children. In a statement, London's Metro Police Service said people are being treated for a range of injuries. The London Fire Brigade said the cause of the fire is still now unknown. In a statement posted on the Facebook, the service said the fire is from the 2nd floor to the 12th floor. Firefighters wearing breathing apparatus are working extremely hard in very difficult conditions to tackle this fire. This is a large and very serious incident, and we have deployed numerous resources and specialist appliances. The Assistant Commissioners of London Fire Brigade, Dan Daly, said earlier this day. You can see from the image now, the building is still on fire and a helicopter is near the building. And fire brigades are trying to put out the fire with some water from underground. But it is hard for them to reach the top floors of the building. According to the latest update of BBC, several people have died and more than 50 are in hospital after the huge fire reached through this tower block. Eyewitnesses told BBC that they saw people trapped inside the burning Grenfell Tower in North Kensington, screaming for help and shouting for their children to be safe. Firefighters still at scene have rescued large numbers of residents. The 24-story block now is still smoking burns, looks at risk of collapsing. Eyewitnesses said they saw lights thought to be mobile phone touches flashing at top of block of flats and trapped residents coming to a window, some holding children. The Metropolitan Police in London has set up an emergency number on 0800 0961 for anyone concerned about friends or family. Okay, we find someone to talk to us for a short interview. Could you please speak here? Yep, okay. Okay, thank you for Do you smell any the flame and feel anything of the fire at the time?
Not from that distance. No, not from that distance.
Fire of the
smoke, yeah.
Do you think it's a very serious fire incident?
It's terrible. It's fascinating. It's hard to stop looking at it, but it's terrible. It's absolutely awful. This is one of our bigger blocks in West London, and it just seems to have suddenly. Sorry, I struggle for words. It's just gone up, and we know there are fatalities. We don't know how. There are stories coming out. We don't know which will be true or not. So, but this is going. I can't.
Building?
Not in the building itself. Friends and family sort of lived around it.
I heard that some the people live nearby have been evacuated by the police. So, do you also feel your life have been affected by the fire this morning with the police that come off the nearby areas?
Well, yeah, because obviously they've had to shut the Westway, they've had to shut the Tube, they've had to close the roads all around here. I mean, that doesn't really matter. That's just sort of a bit of inconvenience. But people have died up there today, and when literally the dust settles, we will need to know why, because there are other buildings like it with similar firefighting advice, and I understand that the residents of the building have been saying for quite a while that they thought that the fire instructions and escape procedures were not good enough. So there's going to be a lot of questions.
Is it the biggest fire that you have ever seen in your whole life?
Live? Probably, yeah. I don't know. It's I can't really compare. I just came out this morning and saw this big building with fire down the side, and just thought this is like our very own 9/11.
So, what's your first impression after seeing this building on fire?
Just literally awful. Hard to take your eyes off it because your brain just doesn't want to believe it. Just this huge, great building just burning and apparently not stopping. And earlier there was lots of water being put on the uppers to sort of cool it down. I'm not sure they're doing that anymore.
And do you believe the police and the fire brigades will put out the fire and control the situation very soon?
Well, I don't know. I think the emergency services are doing a magnificent job as usual, but I hope everyone who's in and around it has been evacuated, and we will just have to wait till the area cools down. Hope that the building itself doesn't itself collapse, which is a very big issue, and then. Well, what else happens? Hundreds of people will be homeless now, loads of families, probably at least some deaths. So, yeah, what more can you say? Sorry, I'm just shocked today, absolutely shocked.
Okay, thank you very much for saying hello to you. And your name, please?
My name's Rob Cope.
Okay, thank you, Rob.
You're very welcome.
Have a good day.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Okay, take care.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Don't sniff the smoke too much.
Okay, I see. Thank you for your reminding. Well, I just interviewed a local citizen here. He said that the fire is quite awful and amazing. He hoped the tragedy will disappear tomorrow and the fire will be controlled by the police. The London Fire Commissioner, Danny Cotton, said there had been a number of fatalities, but she could not say how many because of the size and complexity of the building. She urged all residents to make sure they had reported themselves to police so that authorities know they are safe. The cause of this unprecedented incident was not yet known, she said, and it was too early to speculate on the building, although it was structurally safe enough for her crews to be walking inside. A local resident, Paul Marker, told the BBC that he managed to escape during the fire. He said, as he was going downstairs, there were firefighters, truly amazing firefighters. They were actually going upstairs to the fire, trying to get as many people out of the building as possible. He said he was alerted to fire not by the fire alarms, but by police on the street below, shouting, "Don't jump, don't jump." Eyewitness Jody Martin said, I watched one person falling out. I watched another woman holding her baby out of the window, hearing scream. He said, I was yelling at everyone to get down, and they were saying, we can't leave our apartments. The smoke is too bad on the corridors. London Mayor Sadiq Khan said questions will need to be answered over the safety of the tower blocks. He told the BBC that we can't have a situation where people's safety is put at risk because of bad advice being given, or if it is the case, as has been alleged, or tower blocks not being properly serviced or maintained. The Fire Baggers Union, the Smart Brack said something had clearly gone badly wrong with fire prevention procedures at building. He said the firefighters would normally fight a fire in a tower block from inside, going up the fire escape and fighting using the internal dry rising maze, but that's not has been possible in this case. The leader of Kensington and Chelsea Borough, Nick Packbron, said several hundred people would have been in the block when the fire broke out. The leader of Kensington and Chelsea Borough said. Meanwhile, appeals are being made on social media for news for missing friends and relatives who might have been caught in the blaze. An emergency rest center has been opened for those now homeless at the Harrow Center in Preston Road. There are also local collections on the way for spare clothes, toys, and toiletries. The first reports of a fire in tower in Latimer Road on Lancaster West Estate came in at 0:54 British Standard Time. While three hours later, people were still being evacuated from the tower, the police said. There are many safety concerns of this building because Grenfell Tower was built in 1974 by Kensington and the Chelsea Borough Council. It's part of Lancaster West Estate, a sprawling inner-city social housing complex of nearly 1,000 homes. The tower last year has just undergone a 2-year, £10 million refurbishment as part of the wider transformation of the real estate that was completed last year. Work included new exterior cladding and a communal heating system. The building, which is containing 120 flats, is managed by Kensington and Chelsea Talent Management Organization on behalf of the council. Local Grenfell Action Group has came before and during the refurbishment. The block constituted a fire risk, and residents had warned that access to the site for emergency vehicles was severely restricted. Council leader Nick Pagebrown said the buildings were regularly inspected, but a thorough investigation was needed. According to British media, the eyewitness said they saw people trapped inside the burning building, screaming for help and shouting for their children to be saved. Some said they saw lights, thought to be mobile phones or torches, that flashing at the top of block of flats at that time, and the trapped residents coming to the windows, some holding children. Eyewitness Jody Martin said, "I watched one person falling out. I watched another woman holding her baby out the window, hearing scream." He said, "I was yelling at everyone to get down, and they were saying, 'We can't leave our apartments, the smoke is too bad on the corridors.'" Paul Monaco, who lives on the 7th floor, managed to escape, and said he was alerted to the fire, not by fire alarm, but by people on the street below shouting, "Don't jump, don't jump." Michael Palmason, who lives on the 7th floor with his girlfriend and young daughter, said he ignored official advice to stay in his home. He said, "If we had stayed in that flat, we would have been perished. My gut instinct told me just to get the girls out. I wrapped the little one up because of the smoke and just got them out." Another resident, Joy, who lives on the 4th floor, said she was woken by a neighbor banging on her door. She said, "The whole landing was thick with smoke. The smoke alarms wasn't going off, but the way it spread so quickly from the 4th floor all the way up to the 23rd floor was scary." The A40, which is part of which is known as Westway, has been closed between the Northern Roundabout and Marylebone Road, that near the tower. London Underground has also closed the Circle Line and the Hammersmith and City Line between Hammersmith and Edward Road. Okay, we try to find another local resident for a short interview. Okay, thank you. Could you stand before our camera?
Yes.
Okay. May I have your name?
My name is Marjorie, and I work locally here in this community.
Have you witnessed the fire last night when it broke out?
No, I didn't see it. I just saw it on the television this morning. But then when I was walking down, coming down this morning, I could see all the debris. And I could realize, I heard on the news that other people were still inside of it about 2 o'clock in the morning. So I don't know, if anyone died in there, what happened, but it is very, very heartbroken. It is very heartbroken. And to know that is, I think what happened, they designed that they put on the outside, because there's no way a block of flat could just go up in smoke unless it had something to blaze. So to my perspective, I think whatever they use and the design, they didn't test it for fire, and that's what happened. Because when you see it, you can just see the sparks going up. Yes, that's my opinion.
So you think the material they use on the outside of the building may be the cause of the fire?
Not really the cause of the fire, but it made the fire go quickly. Yes,
okay.
yes. That's my opinion.
So can you see the building on fire from the window of your house or the field?
No, I can't see.
Can you smell the flavor of a fire?
Yes, I can smell it. I can smell it from my workplace, and we find debris coming into the kitchen window as well. We have to close it. Yes. So it's go all the way about nearly 2 miles up the road. You can see debris on the floor. Yeah.
Do you happen to have any friends that living in that building?
No, I don't have any friend live there, but I have a friend of mine. She has loads of people who live in there. Lots of friends who she grew up with at school and stuff like that.
So how about the friend of your friend? Is he still trapped in the building or has been rescued?
No, she's not living in there, but she had her schoolmates who will go to that. But she doesn't know if they get trapped in there at this moment, because it's still early to tell what's really happened.
So do you feel terrified and worried about the fire this morning?
Terrified, because this is people's life. Children who have gone to their bed last night, without a doubt, mother who put in their babies to bed last night and not knowing that this morning something like this would be happening. So because we don't know if mothers and children are still in that blaze at this moment. So it is terrifying, for me.
So you are worried about the safety of the children and maybe some people that are still trapped inside?
Yes. But I don't know them, but it's life and it's human being, and they shouldn't have died like this. No way at all. For a small fire that starts at the bottom should never rage like this, and I really feel gutted about it.
Have you seen any fire in your lifetime of this size before? That maybe in this community or in other?
No, I never see anything like this. Not when a block of flat catch a fire. Normally it's out in a minute, because that's why I think whatever they put on the outside causes the terrible blaze. Yeah.
So do you believe that the police and fire brigades will put out this fire today and rescue some people maybe still trapped inside?
I don't think nobody could ever survive the smoke. The smoke, fire don't even kill you. It's the smoke that kills you. And for the building to reach like this, there's no one could be in there and survive this fire. No way. I don't think. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much for accepting our interview. Thank you.
Okay.
Have a good day. Okay. I just interviewed another local citizen here. She said that she feels this fire is very terrible and consider that maybe the people still trapped inside building has little possibility for survive. Now I'll tell you some latest update of the fire. Some local people said that they know the families that are trapped inside building is very horrified. The NHS England is asking the Londoners to use its service wisely, and if they need medical attention, they can seek advice from NHS 1111 in the first instance. London Mayor Mr. Sadiq Khan has praised the London Fire Brigades for their performance. He said the first fire engine was at Tower Block within 6 minutes and described the London Fire Brigades as heroes. He said they are the best fire service in the world. Referring to the possible cause of blaze, he added, "Of course, many people will have that legitimate question that will demand answers." Sadiq Khan said in an interview with BBC that the good news is some progress has been made to go higher up the building. The structural experts who are there are currently saying the building is safe. He said, "Our focus now is search and rescue, although it will move to unfurled recovery. And of course, we've got to make sure in the meantime we provide shelter to those who are to flee their home and neighboring properties," he said. Some extraordinary stories are emerging of the individual who helped save those trapped in tower, including one member of public who caught a baby through from 9th or 10th floor. A witness, Samirun Namrani, told the press association that people were starting to appear at windows frantically at that time. Firefighters, speaking of the record, here say they can imagine seeing anything like the scope and shape as this again. An investigation will come in time, no doubt, but they say windows were still open, curtains billowing, and the fire traveled around the wood clothing shells. John from across the capital, they are sketching about cars, past and present to the service. Some emergency centers has also sprung up nearby. Staff at St. Clem's Church in Cedar Road, Kensington, have told the BBC that a number of disaster emergency centres have opened up in North Kensington area. A part of the St Clem's Church, these are the Rugby Portobello Trust in Warman Road and Latimer Centre in Preston Road. They are accepting donations or provisions such as food, drinks, clothes, and toiletries. The Metropolitan Police of London has asked members of the public to stay away from the fire area. He said there were a significant number of police officers in the locality, described the situation as very dynamic and truly shocking. London Ambulance Service Paul Woodrow also said he thoughts with everyone affected by this tragic event. Mr. Woodrow said they were continuing to work closely with the London Fire Brigade and police to ensure patients get the treatment they need and are conveyed to hospital as quickly as possible. The local church opened its doors to locals. The St. Clem's Church in Kensington opened around 3 o'clock British time and since then, according to Reverend Alan Everett, hundreds of people have come through its doors for evacuation. He said people are actually distressed. His main efforts to provide water, breakfast, tea, and coffee, and a toilet. He also said local people have been incredibly generous in bringing supplies to those affected, but said for anyone thinking of donating, blankets were always useful. So far, the fire has been blazing for more than 10 hours. We still have no idea how many hours we still needed for normalization, because from the image you can still see the fire is still on the building. And the London police and the fire brigades are trying their best to put out this fire as soon as possible, but so far they have no indication of when will the fire be put out and how many people have been killed or injured during the incident. So the General Secretary of the Fire Brigades Union, Matt Rack, has said that normal fire procedures were not possible to follow in the Grenfell Tower fire. He explained that normally firefighters would work from the inside out, but in this case they had not been able to do it. He said it was shocking that fire in Tower Brook was able to take hold in this way. Now we are moving closer to the building that in flames to see what happened recently. The police said the fire now is under control, but I can see there's a lot of smoke that are still spreading out of the building. Authorities are trying to determine how many people are still trapped. So far, at least 50 people have been taken to the 5 nearby London hospitals. And we know that there are 125 families living in the building, which also has a children's nursery inside the building. Many local residents that have been evacuated are now standing on the both sides of the road to witness the fire. I think this place that we are the building got fire. The Grenfell Tower is part of the sprawling Lancaster West estate, an enclave of social housing managed by a private agency on behalf of the London Borough of Kensington and Chelsea. While the borough is one of the most affluent in London, North Kensington is a particularly deprived district. The tower that we seen today was built in 1970s and recently subject to a £10 million redevelopment. The building was to undergo specific improvements to fire safety and ventilation works. The webpage detailing the refurbishment was available for time on Wednesday. A boxing gym and a nursery are also housed in the tower, according to a news release last year from the Royal Borough of Kensington and Chelsea. Before the renovation, there were 120 apartments in the building. A local councillor, Robert Axon, told CNN that the renovation works had modernized the building. He said the building needed to be brought up to date with new kitchens and new heating system, adding that the safety certificates had been issued and the council had been told it had all been brought up to date. Cladding had been added to the outside of the building, blamed by some residents for helping the fire to spread so quickly. Many local residents and journalists from every media are now doing some live and reporting here and witness the latest development of fire. The place appears to be the worst in London since the 2009 fire in the city's south that killed 6 people, including 3 children. But it was not yet possible to confirm the cause of fire, which spread throughout the building from all towers very soon last night. The fire brigade chief Cotton said the first fire trucks were on the scene within 6 minutes. The crew's roaring breathing apparatus have been working in extremely challenging conditions, he said. In an interview with BBC, London Mayor Sadiq Khan said the safety concern and the question raised by tenants were needed to be answered. He told BBC that a situation where people's safety is put at risk by bad advice or poor maintenance could not be tolerated. When asked about reports that residents had been told to stay in their apartments in the event of fire, he said, thankfully, residents didn't stay in affairs unfair to safety. Khan, who described the incident as distressing, also praised the quick response from emergency services. He said, "We declared a major incident very early, which meant not just the fire service, but also the London ambulance service. The police and others were involved at sea," Mr. Khan said.